Hi, how are you doing? My name is Natalia Kazik, I'm a language coach, and today we'll focus on some nice business expressions, and at the same time, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the God complex. Do you know what this is? Does it ring a bell? Well, I've recently learned about the God complex as I was watching a TED Talk given by Harford. And in this TED Talk, he explains that if you have the God complex, basically you refuse to admit that you might be wrong. Yeah, so despite the fact that the world is so complex, so nuanced, so complicated, you are always right. Just because. Yeah. And I think that if you think about Poland, for example, I think that there are at least two groups who suffer from this complex. One, politicians. Number two, teachers. And unfortunately, I do fall into the second category, but let's not talk about this today. Today, I would really like to focus on you and your business vocabulary. So let's consider this concept in the context of learning a foreign language. So if you are learning English and you have the God complex, you will follow certain ways and patterns of thinking. For example, you will avoid making mistakes. Yeah, so you will keep up the facade that you know everything, and if you predict or suspect that you don't know something, you will not even open your mouth. You will not even speak in a meeting, yeah? Just because you don't want to ruin the impression that you know everything. And this is one of those principles, yeah? One of those characteristics of people who suffer from the God complex. Another one is that you will over-rely on your teacher's advice. Yeah, so you will expect the teacher to tell you the exact step-by-step process that will lead you to your destination. Yeah, you won't engage in any experimenting or anything like that. You want somebody to give you the exact steps, step by step. Show me the way, give me the answer right now and right here. Yeah. Another thing is that you will avoid ambiguity. Yeah, if we avoid ambiguity, this means that we don't think that there might be two answers possible. Yeah, we want to have a very clear explanation, and we never take into account the fact that there are so many different factors that we need to consider, and sometimes it's not possible to give a clear-cut answer, yeah, to a question. So, do you fall into this category? Do you suffer from the God complex? I hope not. But now, let's think about the alternative. What's the alternative approach to the process of learning another language? Well, another approach is to go through trial and error. And if you decide to choose this way, if you decide to learn English by trial and error, basically you determine for yourself what's working and what's not. So in a way, you are willing to experiment, you are willing to try out various ways, various solutions, and see for yourself and determine what is working, what is effective for you, and what's not. And this process is for you some kind of an adventure. It's an exciting process, yeah. It's not frustrating, it's not boring, it's something really engaging. Another characteristic of people who like to do things by trial and error is that they welcome ambiguity. Basically, they know that language is a complex system, it's a nuanced system, it's an intricate system. And so in one context, a given answer will be correct, but in a different context, there will be something different that's more appropriate, yeah? And it doesn't make you feel frustrated that there are two answers possible. It's natural, yeah? Language is a system that allows ambiguity. Yeah, so that's another thing. And the third point is that you move forward, you make progress by making good mistakes. What do I mean by good mistakes? Well, mistakes that you derive lessons from. Yeah, you learn something by making mistakes. How do you usually do that? Well, you reflect. Yeah, so for example, after a meeting in which you used English, you take 5 minutes, you set aside 5 minutes and you think, okay, what went well, what went wrong, yeah? And you derive lessons, yeah? You make sure that next time you will improve something a little bit, yeah? So take a look, two completely different approaches, yeah? One, the God complex, assumes that you know everything, you're never wrong. And the other one, which is much more flexible, which is much more kind of welcoming and friendly. Yeah. So which one do you choose? That's the question that I would like to leave you with. But at the same time, what I would like to ask you to do is watch the video once again and note down the vocabulary that you liked. And then the next step will be to explain the idea of the God complex to someone else. Because only in this way you will have a chance to actually use the new vocab in speaking in an active way. Okay, so I really encourage you to do that. And I would like to thank you very much for today and see you next time. Bye bye.